What if I told you that the biggest problem in NASCAR right now isn't the cars, isn't the teams, but the drivers themselves? And what if one of the most respected voices in the sport just called them out in the most brutal way possible? Because that's exactly what just happened. Kevin Harvick has just sent a serious warning to the entire NASCAR grid. And this isn't just another opinion. This is something that could completely change how drivers approach the sport moving forward. Before we break this down, make sure you hit that subscribe button because we're pushing hard to reach 1,000 subscribers, and we truly need your support to get there. And don't skip this video. Watch it till the end, because what Harvick revealed might completely change how you look at NASCAR and why some drivers are suddenly struggling while others are pulling ahead in a big way. Now let's really get into it. Over the past few races, something very unusual has been happening in NASCAR. And if you've been watching closely, you've probably noticed it too. There's a clear gap starting to form. Not just a small difference, not just a bad race here and there, but a consistent and growing separation between drivers who are competing at the highest level and those who just can't seem to keep up anymore. Week after week, the same names are showing up at the front, while others are fading further into the background. And right at the center of this conversation is one name that keeps coming up again and again: Tyler Reddick. Because right now, Reddick isn't just performing well, he's doing something more than that. He's setting a standard. His driving looks sharper, more controlled, more calculated. Every move feels intentional. Every lap looks prepared. And that's what's starting to raise eyebrows across the NASCAR world. But here's where things take a very interesting turn. Instead of giving all the credit to the car, the setup, or the team behind him, Kevin Harvick decided to take a completely different approach. He didn't hold back. He didn't go with the usual explanations. He went straight to the point, and for many drivers, it was a tough message to hear. Harvick made it clear that the issue isn't just equipment. It's not bad luck. It's not even strategy. According to him, the real difference is effort, specifically the effort that happens behind the scenes. The work that fans don't see, the preparation that doesn't show up on race day cameras. And this is where things get serious. Because Harvick pointed directly at something that is becoming more and more important in modern NASCAR: simulator work. Hours spent practicing virtually, studying data, understanding every corner, every braking point, every possible racing line before even stepping into the real car. This is where races are now being prepared, and in many cases decided. And according to Harvick, not every driver is taking this seriously. Let that sink in. In a sport where margins are incredibly small, where a fraction of a second can decide everything, some drivers are still not maximizing the tools available to them. And that's exactly why we're starting to see this gap grow bigger and bigger. Now think about drivers like Tyler Reddick again. This is where his advantage becomes very clear. It's not just talent. It's not just instinct. It's the combination of skill and preparation. It's the willingness to put in those extra hours when no one is watching. It's the discipline to keep improving even when you're already performing at a high level. That's what separates good drivers from great ones in today's NASCAR. And Harvick knows this better than anyone, because he's seen the evolution of the sport. He's been through different eras. And when someone like him speaks this directly, people listen, because it's coming from experience, not just observation. What makes this situation even more intense is how quickly things are changing. NASCAR isn't slowly evolving anymore, it's shifting fast. The level of competition is rising, the expectations are higher, and the margin for error is getting smaller with every race. And in that kind of environment, there's no room for complacency. That's why Harvick's warning feels different. It doesn't feel like criticism, It feels like a reality check, a message to every driver on the grid that if you're not adapting right now, you're already behind. And that's a scary thought, because adapting isn't easy. It requires a complete change in mindset. It requires drivers to accept that what worked before might not be enough anymore. It requires them to put in more time, more effort, more focus than ever before. And not everyone is ready for that. That's the uncomfortable truth behind this entire situation. Some drivers are embracing this new era. They're putting in the work, they're using simulators, analyzing data, refining every detail of their performance. And those are the drivers we're seeing succeed right now. But others? They're struggling. And it's not because they lack talent, it's because they haven't fully adapted yet. And that's exactly what Harvick exposed. He didn't call out names, but he didn't need to. The message was clear enough. If you're not doing everything possible to improve, you're going to get left behind. It's that simple. And once again, this brings us back to Tyler Reddick. Because whether people like it or not, he represents the direction NASCAR is heading in. A driver who understands that preparation is just as important as performance. Someone who isn't relying on natural ability alone, but is constantly working to stay ahead of the competition. And the results? They're speaking louder than anything else. Now here's the bigger picture. If this trend continues, and right now it definitely looks like it will, then NASCAR could be entering a completely new phase. A phase where the gap between the top drivers and the rest of the field becomes even more noticeable. A phase where consistency, preparation, and discipline matter more than ever before. And that raises a very important question. How many drivers are actually ready for this level? Because based on what we're seeing right now, not many. And that's why this moment feels so important. Because it's not just about one race. It's not just about one driver. It's about the future of the sport itself. Drivers now have a choice: adapt or fall behind. There's no middle ground anymore. And the longer some drivers take to realize that, the harder it's going to be for them to catch up. In the end, Kevin Harvick didn't just make a statement, he delivered a warning that exposed a growing issue in NASCAR. A warning that highlighted the difference between those who are evolving and those who are standing still. The gap is real, and it's only getting bigger. But now, I want to hear from you. Do you agree with Harvick? Do you think simulator work and preparation are really the reasons behind this growing gap in NASCAR? Or is there something else happening that we're not seeing? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because here at NASCAR Nation News, we bring you the real stories, the biggest moments, and the insights that actually matter. And trust me, this story is far from over.